Hello, hello. Today you are going to be completing the Data, People, Things Checklist assessment. And there are three tabs that you're going to need open for today's lesson. You'll need the Google Doc that is titled Data, People, Things Checklist. You'll need your Google Sites open that you created in the last lesson. And then you'll also need to log into MCIS. So if you need help getting any of these three tabs open, please let me know and I would be glad to help you. Okay, for step number one, you are going to take the assessment on the Google Doc. Okay, our first step is to take the assessment, which is located on this Google Doc. You will find this Google Doc posted as an assignment in Schoology. I find that's the easiest way for me to push it out to you so that you can edit it because you are going to be doing some editing on this Google Doc. So the instructions for this assessment are right here. But first, I'm going to read this paragraph to you. Career development experts sometimes describe jobs in terms of the level of data, people, and things activity performed. Learning about which of these you most enjoy and do well can help you look at occupations and consider the data, people, or things activity of the job. This activity will help you identify which type of activities you most prefer. So, your instructions for the assessment are pretty simple. Number one, under each number below are data, people, and things types of activities. You will, number two, highlight the one activity under each number that you would choose to do. There might be two activities that you enjoy doing. You have to pick one. So you can only choose one out of the three options. Okay, so that is important. You can't just highlight all three because all three are appealing. You can only pick one. And then number three says, tabulate your results. Note the number of highlighted italics, underlined, or bold items at the end of the questionnaire. Okay, so let's do the first couple together, and then I'll let you pause this video to finish the rest on your own. So for number one, the three options we have are, would you rather make a pizza, read a book, or text or talk/text on a cell phone? Okay, so you are going to pick the activity that seems most appealing to you. What you'll do is you'll select your activity. So if I chose letter C here, I'm going to highlight or I'm going to select C. And I'm going to come up to my toolbar and choose the highlight color and highlight my, the activity that I'm choosing. Okay, you can pick any highlight color. I just ask that you keep it consistent throughout the doc. So if you want to choose yellow, keep it yellow for all of the questions. If you want to choose pink, keep it pink for all of the questions. And make sure you're using the highlighter. Don't change the background color of the text. Make sure it's a highlighter color and that you can see through nice and easily. Okay, so number two, would you rather fix a bicycle, plan a party, or problem solve a computer issue? Okay, fix a bicycle, plan a party, or problem solve a computer issue. I'll probably pick this one as well. Number three, watch a TV drama, read a manual, or build a stained glass window. Okay, I think this is cool. Like, I've never done it before, but it's always looked interesting to me. I've watched videos on it. So I'm going to choose build a stained glass window. So now what I want you to do is pause this video, complete the rest of the questions or the sets of activities, really, is they're not really questions, but there's only 13 of them. So it shouldn't take you too long. So go ahead, pause the video. I too am going to finish this up really quick. In step two, we will tabulate your results. Okay, to tabulate our results, what we're going to do is count the number of times that you chose an italicized option, an underlined option, or a bolded option. Okay, so let's start with the italics options. Go ahead and count how many italics options you had. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So I had 4 italics options. So what I'm going to do is down here on page 2, I'm going to put a 4, on the italics line. Next, I'm going to look at underlined. So how many underlined options? 6. I had 6 underlines. And then bold is last. 1, 2, 3. I had 3 bold options, so I'm going to put that on the bold line. And that works out perfectly because there's 13 items and my 3 numbers equal 13. 3 plus 6 plus 4 is 13. So that is perfect. So go ahead, pause the video, count up your options, tabulate them, and write down the numbers here. Now let's record your preferences. So we are now going to record our preferences. So this line here says, by looking at my scores and considering my interests, I believe that my true preferences are, and I'm going to order my preferences. There are 3 options that you have: data, people, and things, activities. Now looking at my scores, I underlined 6 people activities. Okay, so I highlighted 6 underlined people activities. And I know they're people activities because all of the options up here that have an underline underneath them are people activities. I highlighted 4 things activities, and I know that because those are the italics, the italicized options. And then I have 3 data activities, and those are bolded. So your scores are going to look different, but you're going to take the data that you have here and you're going to list what your preferences are. Now, if your results are just inaccurate, if maybe you have more data activities than things activities and it just does not sound like you, please put what you believe your true preferences are. Okay. So for me, I have highlighted 6 people activities. I definitely think that I prefer people activities. So here under my first preference, I'm going to put people activities. Okay. I do believe that is my true preference over everything else. My second one, things, activities, again, I think that's accurate. So I'm going to put things, activities here. Okay. And then my third preference would be data activities. Looking at data is not necessarily my favorite thing to do in the world. So I feel like my results are very accurate. Now, if you're having a little trouble considering what really are your true preferences, I have a little cheat sheet to help you. And I will post this on Schoology as well if you want to take a closer look at it and really dive deep into it. But I found this link and it's for the people, data, and things checklist assessment. And it has a bunch of activities that deal with people, data, and things. So people activities would include advising, communicating, coaching, facilitating. If I think about myself as a teacher, I do public speaking, which is right here. I public speak every day, 6 different hours a day to 6 different groups of kids, right? So that's something that I really like to do. Instructing, right? Teaching, training, tutoring, sponsoring, managing. These are all people related activities. And that is something that not only do I enjoy doing, but it's very prevalent in my current job. So it makes sense that people activities are something that I enjoy doing. Now, if you have data activities as your top preference, things that you're going to like to do: accounting. You like to analyze things. Maybe you like collecting things. You have lots of collections. Compiling or computing. Maybe math is a good subject for you. You like math. You like to design different things, design video games. Maybe estimating or evaluating are 2 things that you really enjoy doing. Again, organizing, you like problem solving or researching. These are all data driven activities. And so if you had a high data result on the assessment you just took, these are the activities you're going to enjoy. And then, of course, the things activities. Do you like agility and speed? Do you like assembling things, maybe growing things or crafting, cooking? Do you have good coordination, good hand and eye coordination specifically? Do you like to handle and package things? Um, Maybe maneuvering and manufacturing are good skills of yours. You have good motor skills. You like to paint. Maybe repair things, right? Repairing things is something that you've always found an interest in. Using your hands. Those are all things type activities. And so if you scored high on the things um, activities, that was your first preference, then these are all activities that you're going to enjoy. So again, I will link this into Schoology so you have it, and you can look at it. Maybe if it helps you um, organize your preferences. Step 4, we're going to now reflect on your results. Okay, the last section on this Google Doc here is this box down here, and it says, now describe what you learned about yourself in the shaded box below and in the Getting Started Know Myself section of the career plan. So, what did you learn about yourself from this career assessment that you just completed? I want you to write 5 good quality sentences. Okay, so we're eighth graders now. Next year, you're going to be in ninth grade. We really need to start getting into a habit of writing good quality sentences, complete sentences, and having proper grammar, capitalization, and spelling in everything we do. So we're going to start buckling down and doing that. So here in this box, I want you to write 5 good quality sentences and some sentences or some things you can touch base on is, are you surprised by your results? Did anything that you see here surprise you? Looking at the cheat sheet that I just showed you and looking at those lists of words, do those all describe you? Are those activities that sound like you would enjoy? Or maybe you're not surprised. Like, I'm not very surprised by my results because I know that I like people activities. I'm a teacher. If you're a teacher and you don't like dealing with people, you're not in the right profession, right? So I'm not really surprised by my results, but I'm not your age and I am not doing some of these things for the first time, right? So are you surprised? What did you find out about yourself? Maybe looking at what some good careers would be with those activities that you like to do. If you're a things person and you like repairing and manufacturing and working with your hands, maybe think about some career options that would be good for you to look at as we go through this course. So, those are some topics that you can touch base on. But again, I want you to write 5 good quality sentences right here. So, go ahead, pause the video, and do that now. Okay, now we're going to work in MCIS and we're going to put our reflection there. All right, so as you can see, I have my 5 good sentences typed up in my Google Docs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, I'm going to copy. So I hit Control C, or you can right click, copy. And now I want you to open up MCIS. You'll have to log in, and this is your MCIS homepage. So we're going to do our very first thing in MCIS. So what I want you to do is hover over the Plan tab. So hover. I didn't click. I'm just hovering over it. And there's this Career Plan option right here that I want you to click. So click on that. And then the Getting Started tab. So if you need to rewind the video, rewatch what I just did, you can do that. But go ahead and pause it and get yourself to this Getting Started page. Okay. Once you're here, I want you to go to the Know Myself section, and you're going to see these 3 things here look very familiar because we just put those into our Google Sites last section. So, Know Myself here. And then what I want you to do is every time that we take an assessment, we're going to add some of this information into our career plan. It just kind of shows that you're working on your career plan. We're reflecting every time we take something, and this is going to be saved with you throughout your whole high school career. So this is something you can always look back on. So what we're going to do here is in the second box. So today we're just going to work with the second box. Um, you are going to click the box that says insert today's date. So it's just going to put the date in for you. Put a dash. And then I want you to hit Control V or paste. And I want you to paste that in there. Then you're going to hit Save Information. And you should see this data here, this paragraph saved, and it's going to stay in your career plan with you. And so that's all we're going to do on MCIS. Okay, the last step of this video is to update our Google Sites. All right, so from MCIS, we're going to move over to our Google Sites tab. So you can go ahead and get that opened up. It's always going to open up to your home screen. So what we're going to do is hover over the Know Myself section. And we're going to go to the Data, People, Things checklist page. Okay, so hover over Know Myself and then click on Data, People, Things checklist. You're in the right spot when you see, the title of this subpage, Data, People, Things checklist. And we're going to add some text boxes. So right away on the Insert panel, you're going to click text box. Change the normal text to title, and we are going to title or type in the word preferences. Okay, preferences. And then you're going to add another text box, and this time in normal text, you're going to put first preference, copy over what your results were. So my first preference was people activities. Okay, so on my Google Sites, I'll put people activities. And you might be wondering, like, why do we have to put this stuff, like copy it over? Remember, we're creating a portfolio. A portfolio is a collection of the assignments and the research and the assessments that we take. So because we're creating this portfolio, we have to copy over the information and the work that we do so that it's all collected into one place and it looks really neat and professional. All right, so then type down your second preference. Mine was things activities. And my third preference was data activities. Okay, so go ahead, pause the video, put your three preferences down. Make sure you're writing out all of the words. We're not getting lazy with any of this, and we're capitalizing when necessary. All right, once you have that done, we're going to add another text box. We're going to make it a title. And this time we're going to put in reflection. Add a text box. It can stay at normal text. And all you're going to do is copy and paste your 5 sentences again. Okay, so if you need to, go back to your Google Doc, copy your 5 sentences here and put them down in your reflection text box on the sheet here so that it looks nice and professional. Okay. And then the last thing, go ahead and pause if you need to. Okay, I'll try and remember to get better at this, but pause if you need to. But the last thing we're going to do on this Google Sites here is go to the Insert panel. We're going to go to Drive. Okay. And it sometimes takes a while to load because there's a lot of files. And you're going to search. And I want you to search for the data things checklist. And it'll search your drive. Here's my data things checklist doc. So I'm going to click on it and click insert. Don't get aggressive with your Chromebook. Don't get mad at it. Just be patient. It will load eventually. Now, what we just did here was we loaded a Google Doc onto our website. Okay, we loaded this Google Doc onto our website and the box is pretty small. So what I want you to do is drag this box, or resize the view box here. And I'm just going to resize it to the size of the first page. So I'm going to go down and make sure that all 13 of my options here are shown. So once I can see this option 7 down here, I know that this is the first page of my Google Doc. Okay. But now that we're putting this on a website, there is one thing that we will need to do, and that's go back to our Google Doc. Okay. go to the share button. Go to the share button, and we want to change who can see our doc. So this says share with Fairmont area schools. We want to switch this to anyone with the link. So we're going to make it public. Anyone with the link can see this, and click done. That way, when you publish your website, I will be able to see this part of your doc, of your website. It'll show up and appear just fine. So that is it. Last thing here now, we want to make sure we hit publish. We always want to publish our website. You learned that in the previous lesson. It's going to show you, hey, this is what you're changing it to. This is what it used to look like. And hit publish one more time. Okay. If you're ever not sure, just hit that down arrow, click view published site, and you'll be able to see what your published website looks like to someone viewing your website. Okay. All right. So that is it. That's the end of the video. And as long as you have all of these things done, you're done with this lesson.